It's a fantastic photo opportunity of Tower Bridge there. They say if you can get a picture of a double-decker bus in the middle, that will cost you £5 on a postcard. Two iconic sites. Now, as we turn the boat, on the right-hand side, if you told your boss you was feeling sick today, he now knows, really, you was on a boat. Kent House. Now, on the left-hand side, in a moment, you're going to see a rather large white ship with a yellow funnel. That's the HQS Wellington. She was an old New Zealand warship many years ago. She's now the only floating livery company within existence. If nobody knows what that means, it's basically a floating pub for retired sea captains. To be a part of that prestigious club, you'd had to have served at sea for 20 years as a master mariner. Now, just behind the ship, you're going to see an arch with the picture of Father Thames. That's a boundary marker. You're now leaving the city of Westminster and you're entering the 1 square mile city of London. Just there on the stern of the ship. On the right hand side, one of the best beaches in Europe, Costa del London. Has anybody seen Baywatch? That's not where they filmed Baywatch. But in a moment, you're going to see a red brick building on the right hand side with a tower that says the letters OXO. It was John Cubitt. He was also the same architect behind the Western Railway Service and Weymouth Pier in Dorset. As we clear this bridge, the next bridge is so close, it's called Blackfriars Railway. You may remember this bridge in the film Mission Impossible, when Tom Cruise ran across the top. It's the longest solar panelled bridge in Europe. It gets 70% of its power from the roof for the station below. It cost £500 million to construct this bridge. Now, as we go through the bridge, on the left-hand side, you're now coming into view of one of my favourite buildings, St Paul's Cathedral, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. It's 365 feet tall, easy to remember, 1 foot for every day of the year. Now, many important people have had their funeral over at St Paul's, such as Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, and of course himself, Sir Christopher Wren. St Paul's is a London architect's nightmare. It's forbidden to cast a shadow over the cathedral. This is why you don't see high-rise buildings around St Paul's. The red brick building just in front of St Paul's is the City of London School. That's where Daniel Radcliffe went to school. Harry Potter. Now, in a moment, rather than going into the pier, what the captain likes to do here, he likes to turn the boat. And the reason he does this, so you can get the best picture of Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is the gateway into London. It's 127 years old. It's a part bascule, part suspension bridge. Bascule is the centre part of the bridge. It's translated in French as seesaw. It's an iron-built bridge with stone cladding, and it shares its neo-Gothic style image with the Tower of London. Anybody can open Tower Bridge as long as you have a boat and you provide the bridge with 24 hours notice, so they can divert all emergency services. This bridge is closed for 1 day of the year. Does anybody know what day that is? He's on fire, this man. It's the London Marathon, which was 3 days ago? Yeah. It was a good day. It was closed all day. Could you imagine if they opened this bridge on the day of the London Marathon? It would be very... Now, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a construction site. You're going to see a few cranes and a large cofferdam. This is the biggest project London has ever taken on. This is the £5 billion super sewer, the Thames Tideway project. There's 25 of these sites up and down the river today, and they're all building the same tunnel. Our current sewer system can only cater for 2 million people. Once this project is finished, it will cater for 10 million people. The tunnel is below this boat right now, and it's going out to a place called Beckton. It can fit 2 double-decker buses inside this tunnel. It's a very, very big project here in London. You can actually see on the wall they've just built, where the orange workers are, it says Bazalgette Embankment, tunnel below 48 metres. You'll see a lot of these sites in London today. Now it's known as Mum's Gravy. It's completely illegal to advertise out here on the Queen's Highway. This is why you don't see billboards, you don't see McDonald's signs, because it's completely illegal. So Oxo was taken to court. They said it was a coincidence how the tower spelt out their brand. They won their court case, and they've had over 70 years of free advertising out here on the River Thames. It's now home to one of the best restaurants in London at the top, the Harvey Nichols restaurant. Just underneath, some unaffordable apartments, and underneath that there's an arts exhibition gallery. Bridge. So if you see anyone up there, do give them a smile, because they're probably lost. A lot of the emergency services use this bridge because it's the least congested. Now, we often get asked in London, what happens to London's rubbish? On the left-hand side, 90% of London's rubbish leaves this site. It's called Warbrook Wharf. It leaves on that barge. It gets sent to a place called Essex. Now, they do send it back to us via television. Has anybody seen Towie? That's how they get their own back. One of those grey containers is the equivalent to 1 lorry. So you can just see how many lorries are being taken off the streets of London. The next bridge is Cannon Street Railway Bridge. As we clear this bridge, you're going to see the word wharf on the right hand side. They're old working warehouses. If you're going to Greenwich today, you're going to see that word quite a lot. It stands for warehouse at riverfront. It's an old Dutch word for the word worth. Now, on the right hand side, in a moment you're going to see a ship. Has anybody seen Pirates of the Caribbean? You're going to want to get a picture of this boat. It's got absolutely nothing to do with Pirates of the Caribbean. It's Sir Francis Drake's replica of the Golden Hind. Sir Francis Drake was the first English captain to circumnavigate the globe. The replica over in the dock there, it's done it twice. As you can see, some repairs are being made to the ship. With a little bit more funding, it's going for a third. Now, the next bridge you're going to go under, ladies and gents, is the world famous London Bridge. People come from all around the world to see London Bridge. And this is what you get. But in fact, it is the famous bridge. It's where the history lies. There's been a bridge here to span the Thames for over 2,000 years. The first one was built by the Romans, and the last one was taken down and sold to an American man. It now stands in Arizona. They've been burnt down, they've been shot down, and they've been taken down. But there's still a London Bridge here today.